In today's video, we're diving deep into the story of a woman who broke every rule she thought she'd live by in one unforgettable, life-altering night. A story about tension, truth, and the moment desire meets hesitation. This is not just a story of seduction. It's about choosing vulnerability over safety, about standing naked in more ways than one. Physically, emotionally, spiritually. Disclaimer: this content is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. I never meant for things to unfold like this. Honestly, if you asked me the day before, would have laughed at the idea that I'd be capable of crossing a line I swore I'd never even approach. But sometimes, all it takes is one breath, one glance, one heartbeat to shatter every rule you've written for yourself. That night, something inside me let go quietly, not in chaos or confusion, but in clarity, like a knot finally loosened after months of being wound tight. I wasn't afraid, not anymore. The only thing I felt was ready. The house was still, eerily still. The only sound came from the ceiling fan spinning above me, casting slow-moving shadows across the floor, like it knew something was coming, something irreversible. Earlier that evening, he looked at me, not with words, not even with a smile, but with eyes that lingered a little too long, heavy with unspoken truths. He wanted to say something. I saw it. The corners of his mouth twitched with hesitation. Maybe it was fear, maybe pride, or maybe it was the weight of knowing that once we let this thing between us breathe, we'd never be able to hold it back again, because this wasn't new. This thing had been building for months, maybe longer. We had always danced around the edge, brushing hands that stayed too long, shared glances that felt too loaded for casual friendship, laughing too hard at each other's jokes, sitting too close on the couch. Every interaction, a whisper of something more, but we never named it, never dared to dot, until now. Until that night, I walked out of the bedroom. No words, no clothes, no second thoughts, just bare skin, bare soul. The hallway was dimly lit, shadows clinging to the walls like silent witnesses, and he was there standing at the other end. When his eyes found mine, I saw the exact second the rules between us evaporated. He didn't move at first, didn't say a word. His gaze traveled over me, then back to my eyes, not with lust, but with stunned, careful reverence, like I was both everything he wanted and everything he feared. Then he stepped forward slowly, deliberately, until the cool wall pressed against my back and the heat between us began to smolder. Still, he didn't touch me. Not yet. His hands hovered near me, as if held back by invisible strings, the ones called caution, consequence, and history. I could almost hear the war waging inside his chest. Touch her, or walk away, say it, or keep pretending. But some lines once crossed demand you to burn the map of who you used to be. And I had already stepped off the ledge. I wasn't going back, not this time. He leaned in, his breath mingled with mine, warm, trembling, close enough to kiss, but still keeping that impossible space between us. And then, just when I thought I knew what was coming next, he whispered something I wasn't ready for, something that shattered the quiet between us more than any touch ever could. But I'll leave you hanging right there. What do you think? He said. Would you have made the same choice I did? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to vote in the poll. Should she push forward or step away before it's too late? Because trust me, what happens next changes everything. We weren't strangers to this tension. We had built a quiet relationship on it, a web of late-night talks, accidental touches, unsent texts, and glances that spoke more than words ever could. We were always almost lovers, almost more than friends, almost honest. But almost isn't enough when your heart's been holding its breath for too long. That night stopped holding mine. The silence between us grew thick, not empty, but full of all the things we hadn't dared to say, all the near confessions, the swallowed feelings, the restrained ones. He looked at me, his face a storm of emotions, longing, hesitation, ache, guilt, want, and underneath it all, fear. He raised his hand again, halfway to my face. His fingers twitched. I thought this was it, the touch that would break the spell, but he stopped. His hand fell. The air between us shifted heavier now, denser. I saw it in his eyes. He wasn't just scared of what would happen next. He was scared of why he wanted it so badly, of what it might cost. And I wondered, was he afraid of me or of himself? Comment below. What do you think? Would you stay silent or demand answers? War was cold.